What is up, CineNerds? Sorry for the delay. Ryan was doing a whole damn enchilada podcast, and we were trying to get things connected in the transition. So we're a few minutes behind, but we're here.
We're here in JP Square. All right.
um,
What are we reviewing today, JP?
so I want to do a gripe. I want to do a gripe before we get into this.
Oh no.
Yeah. So, um, and actually, right off, I don't know why my YouTube live control channel isn't here. Uh, oh wait, here it is. There we go. Now I can see the chats. Um, okay, my gripe. So you guys talked about the beginning of a little bit about this at the beginning of the whole damn enchilada. So Hulk Hogan died today. So this is my gripe, and I'm going to go on a little bit of a soapbox right here. Um,
I think we're gonna have a similar gripe. But go ahead.
So I've had a couple people like posting on like I posted, rest in peace Hulk. Um and it's sad. Hulk was a 80s icon, This is a guy that I grew up idolizing, as a big wrestling fan. Regardless of what this guy has done or said. Um I've had a couple people come on my post, and I've actually deleted a couple people from my Facebook today because of this. If you have such a if you have no value of human life that you are going to laugh and mock and make fun of somebody for passing away, you're not somebody I want to be friends with. I'm just going to throw that out there. Um, that being said, it's tragic. No matter what this guy said or done, we've all said and done things that we regret. We've all done it. I don't care who you are. You've said something that was wrong in the past of some sort that you can't take back. I don't care how good you are, how bad you are. We've all done it. Now, some of the stuff that he said, is it okay? Was it right? No. But you know what? This is a human life. This is somebody who passed away. This is a guy who had family. He had kids. He had people that cared about him. He had fans that cared about him. And I think it's disgusting. I just absolutely think it's disgusting, no matter who it is. If you're going to sit there and devalue and make fun of somebody for dying, I think you're a pathetic human being. If you want me to be completely honest. Okay, end of
I
grind my gears.
No, that's you know what? That's a valid statement. And it's a valid way to start, honestly, because I mean, he Hulk Hogan to me, to the wrestling world. I'm not big in that WWE world and WWF when it was that, but to me, he's the Ozzy of the wrestling world. He was the face of wrestling going through all these childhood years for a lot of us and a lot of people, and even a face later on in years to some people's kids. So yes, he had some fuckery, but like you said, who doesn't? So that to that I say a man lost his life, and be respectful. I'm sorry, that's just what it is. So I agree.
Yeah. So I had to start the episode with that because I was just so irritated by some people's behavior. And you know what? If you want to go on your Facebook and you want to post something like that and it pops up in my newsfeed, you know what? I can ignore it. I can. I'll look past it. I don't care. You post whatever you want. Say whatever you want. But when you come on something I post and make multiple comments about making fun of somebody dying, you're not a friend of mine. So that's it. Anyway, I'm JP.
I'm Ryan.
So we are Cine Nerds, and today we are going to be talking about James Gunn's Superman
Now
2025.
now that said, if you have not seen it yet, there are spoilers, potential spoilers ahead. I will try and not get into those, but it's pretty much unavoidable. We're talking about this. So do yourself a favor. You can come back and listen and come back and watch it another time if you haven't seen Superman yet, because we don't want to ruin the fun for you.
At all. But yeah, if you don't mind the spoilers and or if you've already seen the film, stay with us, because this is a fun movie.
it's a fun movie, but like even whatever your thoughts are before you're going to see this, because I know a lot of people are on the fence. They didn't know what to feel. They didn't know how it'd be. I highly recommend that you get to the theater and you see it in the theater for yourself and make the determination as you leave. And if you're from Cleveland, Ohio, you're gonna fucking love it because it is all Cleveland, all the way down to the stadium. Like it is awesome.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, there's a lot of shots you're going to recognize if you're from Cleveland or even what was it Cincinnati, where the
The Hall of Justice, yeah.
do you have your audio on the
I
live?
I I just put the YouTube on my computer, and I turned it off real quick. I know I heard it.
Okay, so initial thoughts on this film, Ryan. You go first.
Oh well, hold on. I'm being told that my voice is in a pocket fishbowl, so they're telling me I sound a little off.
Yeah, it's because you're not on a regular mic, and it's
No,
just
yeah.
we're going
So
we're
this kind.
we're going to
Go
get
ahead.
Ryan set up because we're still doing some stuff over the internet right now because of my situation, and Ryan has some issues going on right now too. But we are going to get together and film some episodes in studio. What maybe next week or two,
Yeah.
hopefully. Um, so while he's here, I'm actually going to set his computer up. He has a small interface, and I'm going to get him set up with a microphone. So when we do these lives, he won't sound like he's in a fishbowl.
So for now, my apologies. I'll try and get closer to the mic.
Okay. Initial react, or did you have anything else?
No,
Initial reactions.
I went into this. I think I voiced my concerns on this, and JT was like, "Oh, you're already going in negative." But my concern was the DC universe. Their approach at Superman has always been hurried. They're trying to catch up to Marvel, and it really frustrated me because I felt like that's the reason they hadn't been successful in the past. James Gunn, having done Guardians of the Galaxy, knows how to make multiple stories, multiple characters work, and I was hopeful for it, and he delivered. So I went into this with very low expectations and came out very, very pleased. If you're looking for a dark Superman, this isn't the one for you. But if you are traditional to Superman, you're gonna love it.
So my initial reactions, and the guys that have watched our 2025 most anticipated films episode will know that this was my number one, wasn't it?
I think so.
This was my number one or number two. It was between this and 28 Years Later on my number one, but I'm pretty sure Superman was my number one most anticipated movie of 2025 for obvious reasons. Anybody that knows me knows I'm a DC fan through and through, and over Marvel. And I'm not talking movies. You can sit here and go, "Oh, well, Marvel." I'm not talking movies. I'm talking comics. We're talking comics right now. I am a huge DC fan, comic book fan, and I'm a massive Superman fan. And I don't know if you'll be able to see it because I've got the green screen, but I do have a Green Lantern tattoo.
Put the gun show away. We get it. We already know about the gun show, JP. Okay.
So, knowing that there was going to be a lantern in this film, and obviously Superman, I was fucking psyched for this film. And so I went in with huge expectations, as well as I said on other episodes that we've done. I'm a massive James Gunn fan. I've been a James Gunn fan since he was working for Troma Films. Um, I mean, this is a guy that wrote Romeo and Juliet. He went on to do films like Slither, and then before all this, before he even got to do anything with Marvel. So I was a huge James Gunn fan off the jump. So I've been the one saying the whole time I have faith in James Gunn with rebooting the DC film universe, and no better person out there. There isn't any better person out there, I think, that could take DC films to the next level where it needs to be. That being said, I went into this film overhyped. I did not leave disappointed. I will say I did not leave disappointed, but there was some pacing issues for me. but fantastic film. I left the film absolutely over the moon for this film.
Yeah, I kind of even. Can I say what my favorite part of this is besides Cleveland? It's fucking Crypto all day. Dude, Crypto is the most real dog with superpowers I've ever encountered. He is real. Like he's an annoying dog who won't listen. Who's stubborn. He doesn't talk. So he's an actual like that's CGI, but he acts like a dog would act in all aspects: playful, stupid, loving, loyal. Just wonderfully done. I was so pleased about that. But that's how the movie opens. It's essentially the scene that we all saw in the trailer where Superman crashes into the snow and he tells Crypto to take him home. And Crypto does that. So it's a great way to start.
Yeah, and that's one thing I really liked was most of the stuff you see in the trailer happens within the first 10, 15 minutes of the film for the most part. So you're not like you've not seen everything in the film in the trailers. So that was one thing I loved about the trailers, and it didn't give it gave a bit away, but it didn't give too much away. And I mean, I'm going to say off the bat, the best things about this film, and you're going to notice who I'm going to leave off of the best things about the film. Crypto, Nathan Fillion is Guy Gardner, Green Lantern, and Mr. Terrific. That is the 3 MVPs of this film.
I'm here for that. Guy Gardner was a tough pill to swallow for a lot of people in this one. Not for me, because I understood his character. I understood why he had the horrible haircut. I understood everything about him and his character. I did see fanboys going crazy about the freaking out about when he uses the hand to slap away the soldiers, and he just makes it like come into existence. And yeah, just stop over analyzing bullshit, guys. Just enjoy a movie.
Yeah. I love Nathan Fillion as Green Lantern. I mean, he played the jerk, and that's what I wanted to see with Guy Gardner. I wanted to see him play a jerk. I didn't want to see Hal Jordan. I didn't want to see Jon Stewart. Now, do I want to see them? Yes, but we knew we were getting Guy Gardner, and so he played Guy Gardner the way I wanted to see him played.
And he did Guy Gardner with the ignorance and arrogance that is Guy Gardner. So like yeah, it's he's absolutely comic book worthy all the way to the haircut. So Hawk Girl, you warned me about Hawk Girl, so I went in looking at her with that WB outfit, and I was like, yeah, that's pretty on point. That is definitely WB.
I will be honest with you, the Hawk Girl outfit we got in the WB looked better than the Hawk Girl outfit we got in Superman 2025.
That's fair.
And Mr. Terrific, man, Mr. Terrific was just a badass in this film, and I've always been a fan of Mr. Terrific, and we had him in the WB as well, and I think it was Arrow he was in Arrow, and I didn't mind that iteration of Mr. Terrific, but man, this Mr. Terrific, the guy who played him, dude, he knocked it out of the park. He was, to me, he outside of Crypto, he was the highlight of this entire film.
He was, but every time he talked, how did you take his voice?
I don't know. I didn't pick up on it.
He's a bad mother. Shut your mouth. He totally was Shaft, dude, all day long.
Well, but that's how I've always perceived him. I think that's why I didn't ever correlate that.
Now, I do have a question because he's somebody I don't follow in the comics, so I don't know much about him. His ship, that reminded me of fucking Watchmen all day long. So is that normal for the comics, or is that just what they did for the movie?
I'd have to go back and look because I couldn't answer that with all certainty with you, but I do remember him having a ship. But does it look like? I can't remember. And most of the stuff I've ever read or seen Mr. Terrific in, he's never actually had a ship most of the time. So I don't have a solid answer there.
And then with Mr. Terrific, did you, because it is James Gunn, I have to put the comparison out there. The drones, he's fucking Whistler. As soon as they started zooming around
Yeah,
and hitting everyone,
but
I was like,
but
oh,
those spheres, that's a Mr. Terrific thing. That is
yeah, yeah,
that
for
is
sure.
that is that is his thing. So did he rip it off of Guardians? I don't think so. I think Guardians may have ripped that off of more off of him. Maybe I don't know.
J-
Marvel DC rip everything off of each other.
JP, I have to stop us right now. Did you flex on camera wearing a Britney Spears shirt? Unbelievable. Oh my, it's Britney, bitch. Oh boy. All right. Back to Superman.
And if you notice, the Britney's written in green, so my green screen filter is like, but it's
I,
okay.
I, yeah, I'm gonna have to rewatch this and screenshot you and you're flexing with the Britney shirt on though. All right.
Megan wrote, she asked the coworker who played Mr. Terrific. Second I showed him the actor, I was like, it's the guy from Twilight. So he must
Yeah,
have been. I never saw Twilight, so I couldn't tell you.
I had to. So I was trying to be a proactive father, and my oldest, who's now 27, because I'm old as shit, she wanted to read the Twilight books, so I pre-read them. I did not let her read the last book for obvious reasons until she was of age, um, but yeah, I had to watch these and read these, and it was painful. It was really painful, but we got through them. But yeah, I remembered him as soon as they as soon as that correlation was there.
Never seen him. I never had a desire to watch or read the Twilight stuff. So
It's just so high school and gushy. It's weird.
well, I mean, when they came out, I wasn't a teenage girl.
Nah. Hey, your life choices are yours. I respect you, sir.
It's fine. Um, let's talk about the villains for a minute, because I don't want to give too much away with this film. You know, because I want you guys to go see it. But so we have Lex, we have Ultraman, and I've got some questions I want to ask about Ultraman with you. See if we can.
Okay. I think
And
I go ahead.
and we have who was the other one? It was
Metamorpho.
he's not a bad guy. Metamorpho's not a bad guy.
Oh, you're talking about bad guys.
Um, the
What's the tech
engineer,
chick?
the engineer. That's
Yeah, yeah,
that's yeah,
yeah. Okay.
that's who I was trying to come up with. The engineer.
I just got done ranking Hellraiser movies, and I didn't even talk about the engineers. Jesus. Anyways, but yeah,
Well,
the engineer was a
you
cool
know,
character.
the engineer could have been a Cinnabot.
He actually is the first Cenobite, and he that's why he watches the corridors.
Well, I'm talking about the engineer in Superman.
Oh yeah, okay,
I
fair.
mean, she was gothic enough. She transformed into different ways to kill you. So
The way she talked to Lex and about how she changed her body to commit to it too, it was pretty good. I like that.
what'd you think about this Lex Luthor?
He's okay.
Nicholas Holt. Nicholas Holt. I mean, he's done a lot of great films.
He has, and he is. I think it's really. I don't know. Lex Luthor is one of those characters who's just really hard to pull off the right way, because I have the version in my mind of comic book Lex Luthor, and I have these movie versions we keep getting, and I just feel like I haven't gotten the right Lex Luthor yet. I will say he's up there though. He's not bad.
He's not bad. You know, I think he looks the part better than Jesse Eisenberg.
That's one of the worst ones.
Yeah, I didn't too much mind how Jesse played Lex in parts.
Uh,
In parts. So
Rick said Rick said Lex was better after 20 minutes in, which kinda, yeah.
yeah. Um, Now speaking of Lex, there was a cameo of a different Lex Luthor in this film. Did you know this?
No.
So you wouldn't have recognized him because he was in full uniform. He was one of Lex's little henchmen that was supposed to go out and fight
Is
Superman.
is this
It
your
was
Smallville?
it was the greatest Lex, the
For you?
greatest Lex
Yeah.
Luthor, Michael Rosenbaum.
Okay. That kind of sucks.
I
They
know
got
they should
put
they
into
should
that.
yeah they shouldn't have put him like all in costume. They should have let you actually recognize him. But Michael Rosenbaum was in this film.
Yeah, he wasn't bad at all, especially because the reason I could deal with him in Smallville. By the way, I will admit openly, I've only seen one season of Smallville. I have to go back, but what I saw in Smallville was a Lex Luthor who is finding out who he is, and I appreciated that more than I did.
The thing with Michael Rosenbaum's Lex is he had 10 seasons. Well, we'll say 8 seasons because he did leave like for a while. He had multiple seasons to really hone in that Lex. He played Lex probably he played Lex longer than anybody on screen, and yeah, the first season. If you never made it past the first season, that's him kind of figuring out who he is as a young Lex. By the time the end of the series, you've got full on fucking evil Lex in that series, and he is amazing. He is the by far the best Lex Luthor we've ever had. Even better than uh, what's his name that just passed away?
Gene
Yeah, Gene
Gene
Hackman.
Hackman. Yep. Um, Everyone crucifies me for this. I don't care. I am okay with Kevin Spacey's Lex Luthor. Yeah, you can do that all you want. He was not as bad as everyone gives him grief for in that. He was. I mean, he's a piece of shit in real life, but he's
I think that's my issue. I don't think I didn't mind him as Lex, but I just I I hate Kevin Spacey.
yeah. If I didn't find out the things I found out about him, I probably would have thought he's one of my favorites, honestly. But which is a shame because we've talked about that in the past as far as um, you know pulling down characters or watching the films when those types of things get centered around, and it's a shame to have the rest of the cast and rest of the people working on those films and those projects not get recognition because something else slighted it.
Now, who I wish we got to see as Lex a lot more was Michael, and I can't think of his name, but the guy that played Abraham in The Walking Dead, where he played Lex in Superman and Lois.
Superman Lois, yeah, that he was pretty twisted. I kind of liked him a lot.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, no, yeah, I agree.
He was a badass Lex. I honestly think in a lot of ways he's my second or third favorite Lex Luthor.
I think he might be my favorite,
He's
and
definitely up there.
and I have to thank you too because you told me about Superman Lois. I took it as another WB thing I didn't need to watch, and I watched it, and it's one of my favorite versions of Superman. So
Hmm.
it's pretty solid.
And to let you guys know that are watching, we are going to rank our favorite Supermans tonight.
Which was far harder than I thought it would be.
Wasn't for me.
Oh my god! I mean, there literally so many good actors who played Superman. So I mean, yeah. So
I did leave off on my list though. I left off the guys that played Superboy. I did not include them,
yeah,
and
yeah. I didn't do that either.
I did not include any animated Supermans either
I didn't either. I only
because
did
of
not the
because
9 people who did.
because if I had have included animated, then obviously Tim Daly would have been pretty close to the top of the list.
Yeah, no, I only did the 9 who were in the series of movies.
That's me. It's what I did.
All right, cool.
So, um, getting back to 2025. Um, so let's talk about. We talked a little bit about Lex, and we've really not spoiled much with this film, which we're trying to avoid. But my questions I'm getting ready to bring up now, I am going to spoil some stuff. So beware. Um, Ultraman, who is kind of the big bad in this film, um, who is essentially he's equivalent to Superman. Spoiler alert, you find out that he is a clone of Superman.
And further spoiler alert, maybe I feel in the upcoming films in the future he'll become Bizarro.
So this is where I was going to question you. So do you think that we're going to see Ultraman again, that Superman clone, and we're going to see him come back as Bizarro, or or with him being a clone? Do you think that maybe Lex is going to clone another one, and we're going to end up having Superboy, the Lex Clark clone Superboy?
I mean, it's a very possible thing. Uh, I feel like we had a good version of it in Titans already,
Mm-hmm.
but that wouldn't be bad. But I don't know how they would make that happen because if it's a clone of Superman, I don't know. That would be weird. I feel like see that's where we start getting into semantics. How far are they willing to spin off and mess with this DC universe without sticking to the basics? Because I feel they need to have core structure and not spiral off in too much, just to get us caught up.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm hoping I'm like you. I'm hoping Bizarro, but I'm a huge Superboy fan, so I'd like to kind of see that too. But I'd only want to see that if we were to get the Titans to come in as well.
Um, and that really depends on how far. I mean, DC is such a. I mean, so is Marvel, but DC, every group of heroes linears off into so much more. So if you get the Titans, now we're into Batman, now we're into Red Hood, now we're into so much more. So it just could keep going and going. So for me, I hope they stay simplistic to start and keep it streamlined so we don't get too crazy. But at the same time, there's a lot of leg work to be done for DC.
So Rick commented, "What if he keeps cloning and that's where Bizarro comes from because he's deformed and slow?" Now, I mean that's a possibility, but I think it's more likely that Ryan is correct in the fact that Ultraman being sucked into that black hole has rearranged his DNA and body, and he would come back as Bizarro out of this black hole or alternate dimension.
Which is similar to story that happens in comics.
Yeah.
And Bizarro, too, by the way, is my favorite villain in all of DC. So I am here for this. I, I don't rank Superman up as high in the heroes, even, but I put Bizarro up at the top of the villains because, as I've talked about many times before in the podcast, I love conflicted characters. Anyone conflicted is amazing. Bizarro, he's almost too dumb to understand what he's really going for, and I'm here for that. I think it's amazing to have those powers but be stupid.
And we got a great version of Bizarro in Superman and Lois.
Yeah, we did.
So,
What what did you think about the conflict that Lex devised to keep Superman distracted with the fake country, whatever it was?
okay, this is a little bit where I got a little disoriented with this film. So, I think it's cool. There was aspects of it that I loved, like especially by the end when he can't get there to save these people. And okay, I'm just going to let me rewind, and it's going to lead me back to answer your question. So, what I love about this film, unlike the Snyderverse that everybody keeps praising about how Henry Cavill, the darker Superman, the blah blah blah. That's not the Superman that I grew up reading. It's not the Superman that I fell in love with. The one thing James Gunn that did with this film that I fucking love is you have a Superman that cares. You don't have a brooding Superman. You have a Superman that cares and values human life, everybody's life. He wants to make sure everybody's safe, not destroying buildings. He's even trying to save buildings. And this is something that goes all the way back to, well, you can say, well, it's not realistic, but if you this goes all the way back to George Reeves' Superman and old comic book Superman. I mean, you see the iconic Superman always would, put his body in the way of a train track to make sure a train wouldn't derail. You always would see him catching buildings and pushing them back up. that was the Superman that I grew up with. That is the Superman that James Gunn gave, and he was constantly trying to make sure nobody would get hurt or killed. And so we get to the conflict. I do love, like, towards the beginning of the film when this conflict happens and the whole government getting involved and him doing the interview with Lois and him getting so upset with the interview with Lois that he's actually starts yelling and saying people were going to die. Why was I going to ask if it's okay to stop this from happening? Why should I have to go talk to government officials when I want to? I'm saving lives. I people were going to die. I had to go, and so that aspect I loved. Now some of the filler stuff in between, I think it gets a little bogged down, and it was something I know that needed to be there, especially for the ending, because once we got back to the ending, I kind of liked that storyline again because these two countries are going to war. Well, Superman is fighting Ultraman. He's fighting Ultraman and trying to stop this black hole from destroying the planet. He can't go stop this little war. And you see these people begging for Superman to help them, because they're all about to die. And who do you see? You see the fucking Green Lantern. You see Hawk Girl. You see Metamorpho. You see all these guys, all these other superheroes show up to prevent these people from dying, and I fucking love that whole scene.
Yeah, I was here for it. The only thing that I didn't like for that initial scene, I love the hero aspect, was the like this big battle's gonna be fought on a field, and in that like the whole country people are in that field, and they only have sticks and stones and a couple guns. Like that was the only thing, and I get it. They're trying to go for a third world approach or whatever, a third world country, but it was a little very, I don't know, unrealistic in that regard, because you think, they would have some kind of something, even rocket launchers, anything. I don't know. So that was a little weird, but that's also semantics. That's me not enjoying the film for what it is, like I always complain about. So you take that out of the equation, though, and when they show up, it's pretty cool. And they're like, "Yeah, he couldn't make it. We're here. Don't worry."
Yeah, we
And
brought in the A team.
yeah, yeah. And I did, man, when I did not have on the bingo card in that movie a black hole opening on Earth, or a dimensional rift. Sorry, but essentially a black hole. So that was pretty cool too, and the way that Lex could turn it on and turn it off. I was like, this man's way too villainous. So as much as I didn't like him, those things kind of got cooler as he went. But yeah, I don't know. Good stuff though.
Did you notice during that final skirmish when Lantern shows up and everybody shows up to protect those people? When Lantern starts throwing his hands out, flinging tanks over and stuff, did you notice the hand gestures? The
No, but
hand,
that was the thing I was talking about for the complaints from the fans.
the hand gestures coming up out of the ground with the Green Lantern hands coming out of the ground
Oh yeah,
were middle fingers coming
yeah.
up, pushing tanks over and stuff, and they're all middle fingers.
I do remember that. I also liked, to rewind a little bit, the scene that's from the poster that went around where he's sitting in his living room with Lois, and out the window is a giant creature that the Justice, what do they call him? The Justice what in this? The,
It's something like the Justice Group or the Justice Gang or something like that.
yeah, something a little cheesy like that doesn't fit, but they're getting there. But I like that they were handling it, and Superman's like, they've got it. It's all good. This Superman, I do want to go back into the Superman though and talk about what you were saying as far as the personality. So I don't think that you're going to keep the Superman. It's just not able to happen in any storyline of Superman. Yes, there's that element of him wanting to be good and do well, but he always finds some kind of darkness. Even in Superman and Lois and Christopher Reeves, all of them face some kind of internal struggle where they're questioning who they are. They're questioning their morals, their values, if what they're doing matters. I again, conflict guy here. I love it. So when that happens, though, I'm drawn in. I do like seeing Superman go rogue, go dark. I like Infinite Crisis versions of Superman where you get the evil Superman, and there's so many different variants of Superman that I wouldn't mind seeing some of that down the road too. But yeah, I would like to see a moment like when Christopher Reeves is drinking at the bar as Superman, something where he's just defeated internally and he has to pick himself back up and become Superman again. I love those moments. I think they add value to the character and makes you connect with him on a more personal level, because everyone can't control that good kindness, and you want to identify with these characters. Um, so when he pulls his crap together, though, I mean, after he feels he does do that a little bit in this movie too, but not to the extent. He does stay that good boy Superman.
Mm-hmm.
And when we first get the Superman, you're hearing him even say like those things like "gee golly," like he's talking like our old school comic Superman. His outfit, except for the S that everyone complained about, his outfit is even traditional in the sense you got the red underwear over the outfit again instead of the one piece that Cavill had. Um, and there's so many cool little details that Gunn paid attention to make this character be an iconic Superman. Now, the iconic Superman part aside, did, did you notice the change, the trust, the with truth, justice, and the American way? So yeah, so there's a giant underlying political thing, and it goes with the theme of the movie where they're comparing this movie and kindness to being the new punk rock that I really really valued, because Gunn, without letting anyone know leading up to it, he basically delivered the biggest fuck you Trump movie you could have by saying, "Hey, guess what? Superman's an illegal immigrant, and ICE isn't kicking him out." Like it's just not, those type things. Like we have to be better than that. And the way the message was conveyed, I was here for it.
Um, yeah, and I know a lot of people's been complaining about that, saying the movie's really woke because I've heard a lot of people making that complaint, but the movie's really not. It's really not. It's a very subtle
But
kind of like you said, a little punk rock thing that James Gunn did. It's pretty subtle in
yeah,
it.
but
Uh,
that's what makes it so powerful,
Yeah,
is because it's not beaten into the ground. It's delivered where you still have a quality movie that's following its storyline, but at the same time, that message is so relatable to where we're at modern day. Like, you know what? We don't like to get into politics on this podcast. We like to keep it all about the cinema, because who needs more stress in their lives? But I think Gunn did it so well in this that it was a good uh, cinematic start to this new DCU for me, and I'm ready for whatever's next.
so, talking about the Superman, what do you think of David Cordes? What? How do you say his last name as Superman?
So he's he's got an appeal. He's got a build. He can fit the build. I didn't know if the Clark Kent version of him with the broccoli head hair really was working for me.
Yeah,
Um, but I think when the movie was done, I was on board. Before the movie started, I was not 100%. That's like you and I have talked about this before. That's like Matt Smith as Doctor Who. Like when I saw him first, I was like, that's not the guy. And then I saw his character, and I was like, that's the guy. He's great. And so to me, this guy will grow on you, and he can be a great Superman.
he looks the part. He does an okay Clark. I'm not gonna say his Clark is great. He does an okay Clark. He does a great good boy Superman. Um, he has time to grow into this role because he's not the best. We'll find out where he ranks with me here in a little bit. He's not the best, but he's good. He is
Did
good.
you?
I will say he has definitely got a lazy eye or something.
Well, so does his dad.
So,
Papa Ken,
I
those
mean,
eyes.
yeah, they talked about this in the trailer, where he was flying, and they were like, "Oh, well, the CGI is weird or something," and you see his eyes look like they're doing this. I think there's moments where his eyes actually a little lazy. You see it throughout the film, and I hate to say that it's bothersome, but it's a little bothersome, because you notice it and you're just like, but whatever. He can't help that, so
Um, frick, what was I just gonna say? Oh no, I had something, but I got. It's gone. It's gone. All I know is that I was not a fan to start. I'm on board now. The one perplexing character in this movie that I did not understand, Jimmy Olsen.
I love Jimmy Olsen in this film.
But they make him like he's such a chick magnet in it, and I'm like, wait, what? Like even the actor, the guy who plays him, I was like, but he's not even a chick magnet in real life. Like I don't get it.
Yeah, no,
Uh,
and that's to me that's what makes it so great is that it casted and I can't think of his name, but it's the guy from Righteous Gemstones.
uh,
It's the older son from Righteous Gemstones, and he's not the best look. He's not an ugly guy, but he's not a. He looks like a Jimmy Olsen guy. Looks like he could play the quirky nerdy guy Jimmy Olsen, and that's who he's playing. But all these women love him, and like not just like hot women. There's like these
like
beautiful
like
women, or
like Lex's girlfriend.
yeah, like
Um,
Lex's girlfriend, like is
and
obsessed
so
with him.
Lex's girlfriend's obsessed. Now, what is he's got her in his phone as like something crazy toes or elephant toes or something.
Something, yeah. It's something with her
Uh,
feet, yeah.
yeah, so every time it rings, that's what you see on his screen, and he's just laughing. But I like that too. I like they kind of made her like the Gene Hackman girlfriend from Superman 2,
Mm-hmm.
where she was kind of ditzy. She alluded to being ditzy, but then she's really intelligent in how she's getting information. She's taking all the selfies, and she had all the information behind her in the selfies, and got it to Jimmy, and that's how they figured out some things. So I was
Yeah.
here for that.
But I loved. And you talk about punk rock. To me, what James Gunn did with Jimmy Olsen was completely punk rock, and it was very just. You got this very nerdy character that just women are flocking to, and it's like he's so tired of women because they would keep flocking to him. And he's just like, oh, no, no, And I think it was fantastic.
Um, the movie as a whole, for me, felt almost perfect. I do like that uh, I like that we jumped right into it. I like that you jump right into it, and we all get it. We all know where Superman came from and how he got here and all that. So we get right to the point. That was a big thing for me. I was worried that they were going to try and give us backstory and catch us up, and we don't need it. We don't need it at this point. Everyone knows where he came from, and we know the deal. So when the movie starts going, it goes full steam. Um, and there's a few moments where we could have shaved 10 minutes out of here, but overall, no, it was great, start to finish. I liked the girl who played Lois too.
Yeah.
She was a solid Lois. She was a modern day strong woman, kicking ass and taking names. She was right up there with what's her face, Amy.
Amy Adams.
Yeah, because I think Amy Adams was awesome at Lois too. So I was here for him.
Nobody could be as awful as Margot Kidder. So
But but Margot, that was Lois. What?
as much as I love Christopher Reeve, Superman, Margot Kidder is the absolute worst. She is just the absolute worst in those films.
I could see where you think that, but he did turn back time for her because she was that awesome. I'm just saying.
All right,
All right.
so we've not spoiled a lot with this film. I don't feel we've given a few tidbits away. We've really just been talking about the characters and the flow, somewhat of the flow of the movie. Because I'm sure it's going to take us a minute to get through of our ranking of our all of our live action Superman. So let's go ahead. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say one thing we didn't talk about. How did you feel? By the way, guys, this is a big spoiler. How did you feel about Supergirl?
We'll see.
Well,
You
no,
know,
I meant the intro. How do you feel about that? Because that was, I mean, a drunk Supergirl falling all over the place. Not what most people would think, but it is true to the character.
It
So
is
at
true
least
to
from
the
the
character.
comics, yeah.
Yeah,
So
no, it
because
is true to the character.
she's
We'll see. I
defiant.
mean, we'll see. We'll see when we get a Supergirl film. I think she's a great choice for. I think she's a great casting choice. You know, I dug the girl that was they casted in the Flash. I thought she was one of the best things about that Flash movie. I was sad to not see her come back, and obviously, I can't think of her name. The girl who played Supergirl in the TV series. I dug her a lot. And obviously, one of my childhood crushes, Helen Slater, who played Supergirl. The movie has a bad rap, but man, I love that old Supergirl film.
That, that was a great movie.
Yeah, I love that Supergirl film, especially the extended cut. I think it's the only cut you can get now. That extended cut is so much better than the theatrical.
Yeah.
Um, but we'll see. We'll see what happens because at the end of this movie, you get our new Supergirl. You find out that Crypto is actually Supergirl's dog, and Superman was dog watching while she was off partying off world. Um, so all you see is a drunken, hungover Supergirl. So we'll see where they goes with that movie. But I think it's going to be fun.
I think you're gonna get a darker one movie in that than we are with Superman, and like again, I kind of need those emotions and those elements. So if Superman's the balance to her and he stays like all goody two shoes, then great, that'll be cool.
Yeah.
Let's get into these rankings.
Yeah, let's get into the rankings. I picked this one. It's you.
All right, I'll start it off. So at number 9 for me, and this is all right. Before I
Oh,
even
we doing
start the
wait, we doing
rankings.
rankings or we doing the ranking or the our
Oh, my bad.
rating? Our
I thought we
rating.
were ranking. I
Let's
thought we
do
were
our
ranking the Superman.
let's do our rating of the film and then we'll get into our rankings.
All right, I'm gonna say my ranking right off the rip, and then I'll tell why. I'm gonna go 4 nerds flat. I thoroughly enjoyed this. I think that it's still in the beginning though, so I think there's room to grow and get better and better. I'm excited for the Lantern series, for the Supergirl movie. There's some things on the horizon that are really gonna make this movie pop and mean more. I think so. It'll probably become more a higher score for me down the road as these things all come together. But for now, 4 is where I'm sitting with it.
Well, we are dead on. We are
Really?
dead on. We are dead on because I was floating between a 4 and a 4.1 and I'm gonna match you. I'm gonna say a 4 and for same reasons. There's a little bit of I agree with what you said earlier. I think there's a few minutes that could be shaved off here and there in this film. Um, they could have changed a little bit of the pacing and transitions of stuff a little bit better. Um, I think David's going to be a good Superman, but this is film one for him, and I think give him another movie, let him get into this role a little bit more. He's going to be a great Superman, but he's getting there.
Go ahead.
And
Sorry.
this to me what saves this film is what we said at the beginning. It is Crypto, it is Mr. Terrific, and it is Guy Gardner that really pull this movie together and what James Gunn did with Superman with making the goody two shoes Superman that wants to save people.
There was a recent interview with your boy David, and the interview they said if you because he's a Star Wars nerd through and through, and they said if you were given an opportunity to play a Jedi Knight or continue to play Superman, what would you choose? He said Jedi Knight. So he goes, I'm under contract for at least one more movie. So he goes, but anything after that.
Maybe I got to change my ranking.
All right. Want to get into this?
Yeah, let's get into it. Let me get my little notepad up. You want to go first? You want me to go? Are we
I
going
can
to
go
do
first.
rock, paper, scissors?
No, I'll go first on this one because again,
Okay.
it's your pick for the movie, and so we will go from there. So
Let
I
me
want
make
to
sure. Let me make sure you got a top 9.
9, correct.
Okay.
So with the 9, though, I want to preface this by saying that all of these are so amazing, and it was really, really difficult for me to choose. So when I'm placing these in order, it's circumstantial because they're all so close and so minor that I can't let's just get into it. So at number 9 for me is only because I'm not super familiar with his era was Kirk Allen, who was the first Superman from 1948.
He is my number 9.
Okay, well that made that one pretty easy. He was short lived. Um, and then I will let you go from your. Well, you just said you're 9, so I guess I'm back to 8. My 8 is Dean Cain. Lois.
My 8 is Dean Cain.
We're doing all right so far, JP. He's just the shortest, and he just was the least believable as Superman. He's still awesome. Just like I said, these are all so close.
I actually really like the Adventures of Lois and Superman, and but it, you just have to be honest with yourself. Dean Cain was not a great Superman. You know, it was a fun series, but it is what it is.
Yeah. So number 7 for me was, and JP's, you're not going to agree with me on this one.
I'm gonna tell you, ours are going to be vastly different going forward.
That's fair. Yeah, because those two are kind of what they are. But this one, oh boy, you're going to be upset. Tom Welling. So he, he knew it. So you have seen all of Smallville. I have not. That's the only reason he's here, because he's probably going to be amazing when I see this, because I am going to watch Smallville and I am going to give it the due justice it deserves. But yeah, otherwise he might be higher, but for now, that's where I had him.
So my number 7, David Cornsweet, Sweet, or however you say his name, our new 2025 Superman. He is my number 7.
Okay.
He is still getting. I'd said it in the overall review. He's still coming into this role. He's low on the totem pole with me with my favorite Superman.
Well, since I already said my 7, I'll go into 6. David Cornsweet. He's my 6. So same reasons you just said.
Who was your 7?
7 was
Tom.
was
Well,
Tom.
yeah,
Tom.
okay, yeah. Okay. So
Who's
six
your
was 6. Your 6 was my 7.
Yeah.
Did you have anything else to say?
No, it's the same reasons you had. We're still have a lot of ground to cover, a lot of horizon to get past.
So you ready for the internet to erupt and be pissed at me?
Oh,
My number,
wow.
my number 6. My number 6 is Henry Cavill.
Okay, I can get that.
I mean, Henry is great. He's a great Superman. I love Man of Steel. I champion Man of Steel. I champion the extended cut of Batman versus Superman. I champion the Zack Snyder cut of Justice League, but he's not the Superman that I love. He's not that type of Superman. It wasn't the Superman I grew up with in the comics. A lot of people say, "Oh, well, he's more modern." I get it. I enjoyed him for what he did, but for me, he's not Superman for me.
Okay. Number 5 for me is George Reeves. George Reeves, it was the number 2 Superman in 1951. He has a very checkered history with Superman, and all the way up to his suicide, that still is lingering in mystery. They don't know for sure what the circumstances were, but it's deemed a suicide.
So my number 5, and I put him over Henry Cavill, and a lot of people will be mad. Brandon Routh.
Okay.
Because Brandon Routh, he suffered from a bad Superman film, but Brandon portrayed what was meant to be a sequel to Christopher Reeve Superman, and he played Christopher Reeve Superman fantastically. Now we're going to jump forward a decade or longer, and you get Brandon Routh getting his chance to play Superman a second time in the CW crossover, and he gets to play the Kingdom Come Superman, the Superman that loses everybody he loves. Lois is dead. Lex kills Lois. He kills Perry White. Everybody's dead, and so you got that style of Superman that you saw in Superman 3 that you talked about you liked with Christopher Reeve getting so dark, and then coming back to himself. You get that Kingdom Come Superman with Brandon Routh in the
Yep.
crossover, and you get a head-to-head fight with Brandon Routh's Kingdom Come Superman and Tyler Hoechlin's Superman in that crossover, and it's just fantastic, and it was so great to see him get a second chance at Superman, even though it was on TV. I I think he could have been the perfect Superman had he got more films and a better film than Superman Returns. So yeah, Brandon Routh, my number 5.
All right. My number 4, Tyler. Tyler is my number 4. Primarily because I really wish we had seen more of Superman and Lois, but I do feel that that series ended perfectly. I don't say that about the ending of a lot of series, and that series left me feeling good about how it ended, and I was okay with it, and I could sleep at night. But he had that good boy, that goody two shoes vibe, and he wanted to be wholesome, and there were still these dark elements he battled with. Portrayed it very well. So yeah, Tyler was a great Superman. I'm happy that he got to have that role.
So my number 4 is George Reeves, and I grew up watching watching those old Superman with George Reeves. They used to come on. I think it was early morning on TBS because I used to get up early to watch the Adam West Batman. They used to run early on TBS when I was young, and I think it came on like 4 in the morning or 5 in the morning or something like that. And Superman would play, kind of the George Reeves Supermans would play kind of alongside with those Adam West. And so that was what part of my childhood was George Reeves Superman and the Mole Man movie. I love the Mole Man movie that George Reeves did, and so George Reeves is kind of one of those iconic Supermans that I loved, and he was really close to my first Superman. Christopher Reeve was my first, and George Reeve was literally right behind. I was watching those like right behind watching those original Superman films. So
All right. What am I at now? We're at 3.
we're at 3.
Mine is Brandon Routh here. All across the board, what you said. I feel he was robbed. I actually didn't mind. I know it was a bad movie overall, but I didn't mind the movie. I thought it was done really well from his side of things for what he had to work with, and the redemption of the WB element, CW, whatever we're calling that world. The redemption that he got playing Kingdom Come Superman was spectacular, and like when I didn't know that was going to happen. So when I watched that Crisis on Infinite Earths crossover, when I saw him, I literally jumped out of my chair and yelled yes, like I was so here for it. So yeah, Brandon Routh's awesome, and he definitely deserved that second chance.
So my number 3, Tom Welling. And I know a lot of people listening or watching right now. Well, he didn't even really wear the outfit. You just saw him have the top on at the end of the series. I beg to differ because through most of the series, he was known as the Red Blue Blur because he wore a red jacket with the Superman emblem on it, and he was essentially playing a version of Superman that wasn't in that outfit. Yes, he was playing Clark Kent 90% of the time, but he was still Superman. And he had 10 seasons of TV to really to take that character from a teenager to an adult. And it,
And he was in the WB crossover.
I'm getting there. So, and it leads you up to the point of he's working for the Daily Planet and he's coming out as Superman at the end of the series. And I think that he had so much time and so much more screen time than any other actor as Superman. Because I mean, he did 10 seasons. I think every season was 22 to 24 episodes each. So I mean, this guy put the time in as Superman, and he was a fantastic Clark Kent. It was a fantastic backstory tying Kryptonians onto Earth. Um, then you get a little tease with him again in the crossover on the WB where Lex Luthor is trying to kill all the Supermans, and he shows up into Smallville, and there's Tom Welling, and you you essentially you have a powerless Superman. He's given up his powers to live with Lois, and he ends up punching Lex out and says, "I don't need powers to kick your ass." You know that's if that's not Superman, that's the most Superman fucking thing. You know, um, Tom Welling is absolutely an iconic Superman.
I'm looking forward to watching the series, my friend. um, all right, my number two. I know you don't care for him that much, but it's Henry Cavill. Um, I First of all, earlier on the whole Damn Enchilada podcast, I had watched the Hellraiser movie Hellworld years ago, before Superman was even before Cavill was Superman, and I did not realize that he was in that movie because it's such a B movie, low budget film, if you will. And he was so young in it, and it was cool to see him there. But as far as Superman, I got all the variations of Superman with his character. I saw the good, I saw the bad, I saw the darkness, I saw the redemption, I saw love and loss, and I loved what he did. And I'm sad he's not Superman anymore, but I'm excited for what the next chapter brings. So he will stay with me for that because I like the conflicted characters. He'll stay with me for that.
Okay, so we're down to my number two, and we're down to your number one. I think we know where our number one is going to be. So my number two is absolutely my favorite Superman of modern day, and that is Tyler Hoechlin. Tyler is by far the superior modern day Superman over Henry Cavill, leaps and bounds over Henry Cavill, way over David. Um,
Nah.
Tyler is just he is the greatest Superman we have had since Christopher Reeve, hands down. And he had multiple seasons since to again get that character together. And not to mention the seasons. He was also in Supergirl for a number of seasons and episodes too, before he even got his series. So Tyler was absolutely to me Superman and Lois, that whole series with him is a modern day Smallville with actually having Superman instead of Clark growing up. It's Superman with his kids growing up in Smallville. And essentially the whole series feels like a modern day Smallville with a better budget.
So
And it's Tyler just to me knocks it out of the park, and he is my number two.
so the reason to me that like Tyler is amazing. I ranked him lower, but he is amazing in all fronts. The reason that series, though, to me is so successful isn't about him per se. It's about the way they portrayed Superman in the sense of he's a different Superman from a different universe or a different timeline or whatever, another Earth. But there's not a million enemies to fight. He's literally it's very limited to what he's dealing with what's coming into his city into Smallville and or whatever. But wherever he's coming in, it's very limited. It's Lex Luthor and Bizarro essentially with a couple other superpowered people. So you get to really focus on the personal element of Superman in that
Well,
and
you
that.
get Doomsday as well.
Well, that's Bizarro, though. I mean, essentially. So it's the way that they did turn that around a little. So if you haven't seen Superman and Lois, I JP convinced me to watch it. I thought it was gonna be cheesy, and I gave it a watch, and I just highly putting it out there. Everyone should check it out. He is a worthy Superman, and he is solid. Not as high on my list, but solid.
So do we just want to say what our number ones are because it's
Wait,
obvious it's
Christopher
Christopher
Reeve.
Reeve.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's no question.
So
Uh,
he was my first Superman, and he was the biggest Superman. He was bigger than Henry Cavill. You can sit here and say Christopher Reeve was bigger than Henry Cavill. He was a bigger guy. He played Clark perfect. He played Superman perfect. Did he suffer from some bad movies? Because Superman 4 is fucking garbage. So let's just throw that out there. He suffered from having a horrible Lois with Margot Kidder, but he still pulls off Superman 1, Superman 2, and he co-starred in Superman 3 with Richard Pryor.
I mean, all things in that realm, all valid, except for I didn't mind for. I'm not gonna lie, but it was not wonderful by any means. But I didn't mind it. Not. It was also. I felt like Reeves was robbed going out on that one. Like he should have had a better movie to go out on. But I loved every Superman 2 is just it's untouchable. It's one of those sequels that's just beautiful to me. I love it. I love when Superman relinquishes his powers and he's human and
You
he
got
gets a,
Terrence Stamp as fucking General Zod, and that's a much better General Zod than we got in the Snyderverse.
I yeah, you're right. Absolutely, I agree. I did like Michael whatever his name is, but yeah, no, I agree. Um, I like the Phantom Zone, the way it's portrayed in there. I liked when the one chick gets knocked back into the robot circuitry and becomes like the robot thing. And Lex Luthor, I mean Gene Hackman, just he's great. The comedic banter with him is solid. So yeah, Christopher Reeves though, there was just something about him. You were captivated. You were drawn in. You really felt he was Superman. So yeah, my first Superman as well, untouchable.
I mean, it was said in the advertisements, you'll believe a man can fly, and you could believe Christopher Reeve could fly. You believed that he was Superman.
Yep. Wow, that was quite a list.
Yeah. I wonder how many people I
Well,
made mad with that Henry Cavill.
I mean, probably a few, but you know what? I think both of our rankings had some oddballs in there, so it was pretty decent. I mean, they're not going to take you seriously. You're wearing a Britney shirt, so it's
There is nothing wrong with Brittany.
no, nothing wrong, nothing at all. I think I'm going to be here for Halloween. I'm going to get a blonde wig with butcher knives, just
Are
start
you going?
dancing,
Are you going to be naked with them?
just a thong, thong and a belly.
um,
All right.
you got any recommendations?
Oh boy. Jeez. You know what? Just because I rewatched it, I'm gonna throw it out there for people to rewatch it. And it's not in the vein of Superman or hero movies, but for the whole damn enchilada podcast I was on earlier, I watched through all the Hellraiser movies, and I just rewatched the Jamie Clayton Hellraiser for Hulu, and I just really, really genuinely appreciate that film being part of the Clive Barker Hellraiser world. And I think it's excellent addition to the franchise, and so I can't stress for people to make sure they check that out if they like that.
So I finally watched, and I'm going to get away from Superman. I'm going to go to horror. Um, while I was on the festival run last week, I sat down with my iPad and I watched Until Dawn. I finally watched Until Dawn. Have you seen this one?
Because it's a video game movie, I've been reluctant.
So I never played the video game. Now I want to play the video game now because I didn't realize that it plays like, and the same people that did Until Dawn did The Quarry, the game The Quarry, and I love the video game The Quarry. So now that I know that the people that did The Quarry originally did um, Until Dawn, I'm going to go back and play Until Dawn now. Um, so that being said, I never actually played the game. I did talk to a couple people that said, that were huge fans of the game and said they actually enjoyed the movie as well. Now, I think it's a pretty fun fucking movie. If you're looking for a good horror film and you just don't have anything new to watch, check it out. It's pretty fun.
Okay.
Now, does it have some quirks in it that I'm just like, I don't know about this. There is some of that, but overall the movie's pretty crazy. I mean, it's kind of like Groundhog's Day in a sense, So because every time you die, you restart the day. So
I was just talking about a movie that's like that the other day, Blink Twice. I think I was talking about it last week on the podcast.
yeah, and then you've got two of my favorite horror films that came out in the past 10 years. Happy Death Day and Happy Death Day to You that are kind of like Groundhog's Day. So
Those are solid.
yeah, so there's been a lot of this Groundhog's Day thing kind of feel to some films over the past 10 years, but yeah, this one's pretty fun. Now, me personally, I would rather watch Happy Death Day or Happy Death Day to You um, over Until Dawn. But if you've seen those and you're just looking for something new to watch, yeah, Until
The
Dawn is fun.
the wife actually got me hip to the Happy Death Day, and I enjoyed both those.
Yeah, yeah. No, I've been a fan of those for a while. And trivia fact, you know who the director is?
I don't remember off the top of my head.
The writer director of those is Christopher Landon. So that is Michael Landon's son
Oh, okay.
from
Interesting.
Stairway
Oh
to
yeah,
Heaven,
yeah.
Little
Oh
House on
yeah.
the Prairie. That is his
My
son that did those films.
so Ryan personal life trivia. My baby brother John is named after Jonathan. So from Stairway to Heaven. So yeah.
And that's another one I grew up watching was Stairway to Heaven and Little House on the Prairie. So
Oh yeah. That's because we had such few channels back then. You know.
that's fair. That is fair.
Because I had Doctor Who in the mix, the old one. I had Tour of Duty, Twilight Zone, the old black and white ones. So yeah, all those were kind of in that same vein. MASH.
Yeah. So I forgot to do something I was going to do at the beginning of the episode, but I got on my rant pissed about the Hulk Hogan thing. So I have a friend that is going to be making a new shop for us and going to be getting some extra items together for us. I'm going to get the links up as soon as she gets them up for us, and she's going to make stuff as it's ordered for us. She sent me some samples in, so I'm going to show you guys some samples. So this will be up hopefully here in the next couple days. I'll have this up on our website.
Who is your
And
amazing friend?
her name is Angela. She used to work with me years ago in North Carolina, and she lives in North Carolina. So one of the things she sent was wrong way keychains. She has these little nifty little keychains. So yeah, there's a keychain, and for all you that like koozies,
Soul.
she has koozies that she can make with. You see the cute little cartoon us's. And she's got a couple of different shirts designs that she's working for on us with.
Oh, I
And
love it. I love it.
yeah, the established 2023 CineNerds T-shirt. That's the back. It has the patch on the front. Um, so this is just a few of the items that she just sent me as samples. So
Is that sample a triple X by chance?
I will get her. And I should have told her because whenever she sent them, I just said, can you get me some? Um, so can you do some samples for me? And I was just expecting her, to maybe do something, and send me a picture. And then next thing I know, she's mailing this to me, and I should have been like, hey, can you make me a blah 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 size for Ryan? But I will get her to make you. And what size you want?
Triple XL, please.
Triple X.
Um,
I will make sure that comes to you. So
I was
yeah,
gonna,
this.
I was gonna say, I'm so fat that my size is blah 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 blah.
You know what? I mean, to me, you look like you've lost weight. So
I'm down 15, so we're getting there. But
yeah,
triple X's seem to be comfortable still. So
I mean, I will be honest with you. I walked past you yesterday at the Pantera show because I didn't recognize you because you were thinner.
it was all optical illusion of the black shirt, I assure you.
So anybody that wants some of this stuff, she's going to start getting these up for me. I think she said she was actually going to start getting them updated onto her website tonight. And once she gets that up, I'll get those links onto our website, and you'll be able to go on and order whatever she gets up and posted. So so yeah, hopefully some of you guys can order some of this stuff and get some sales. And one thing she said that she's doing for us is, and another reason to kind of push this, so you guys know that we got 2 of the 3 cameras to replace. So I mean, obviously she's going to have to take the cost of the shirts, and she's going to have to make some money for her time and actually doing this. But anything that's made, we're going to set to the side and get that last camera, and that way we can get that
So
ahead.
so the
And
link's set up like a traditional shop then.
yep,
So okay, that's good.
yep,
That's awesome.
yep. So that way we can start putting some. It'll give you guys something to buy to help us, you know, get some other things we need. We need to get that camera. There's another rack system I need to get to finish setting up the studio downstairs the way to make it look right. Right, I've got it okay right now, but um, so there's a few things like that we need to get, and and it helps cover the cost, like our distribution cost, because I mean that's $15 a month, and our website cost is a couple $100 a year, a few $100 a year between domain and hosting. One thing, I mean, if we end up making enough on merch, I've said it before. I wanted to already be doing this. I wanted to update our distribution so that the video versions like this, we could just upload it to all the podcast sites, not just the audio. So we'd actually have video and audio on all the podcast sites. So, but all that costs money.
Cool. We got some other ideas, but we'll keep you posted. We're gonna put those out there, but we're gonna try and make it a little more interesting because we can't grow unless we keep going. So we want to try and do that, and we appreciate all you guys tuning in and chatting with us every week and helping us get there.
All righty, you got anything else?
Nope. I'm just happy everyone stayed in for this long. It's one of our longer episodes in a while.
Yeah, we had a lot, and we did the top Supermans, and
Yeah.
So yeah, all righty.
All right.
We don't know what we're doing next week yet because we've not talked about it, but we're going to get something done. I don't know if we're going to record a batch. We're going to record we'll talk in a minute.
We'll talk.
All
right.
So until next time, we'll see you next Thursday with whatever we plan on doing. Later.
Later.